guys is Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. So this is part two. Um, so I know it sounds crazy. I'm trying not to get into the story of my ex-girlfriend, but unfortunately, and again, I'm not sad. It's the way it is. That's the way it has to be. Um, I'm I've done my best not to fight with it, and but ironically, coincidentally, it would seem that this is about that, and it's not. And it is, and it isn't, but it is. I'm really just trying to show how coincidences that you could capture sometimes and even prove sometimes, and so many happen between me and my ex, that this one would have topped the cake at the time. This would have been perfect proof that saying that, yo, something else is going on here, and there's no way I could have pulled the strings on this one. And again, maybe I did, but I'm not that good. And at the same time, I've got plenty of them, but I can't prove it. It's up to you to believe it or not. And so, if you look here, this house is in the movie A Winter's Tale, right? I'll get it on it one more time so you can see it. Where's the cursor? See, it's A Winter's Tale. It's filmed, I don't know when. Oh, 2014. It was made. Winter's Tale. And again, Will Smith is not in it, but he's not even in the credits, Will Smith. But this is actually a good example of how God talks to us, and just sometimes you capture it and you got proof of it, and this is a good example of it. You see this house? This is an actual picture, and I took this picture. See it? It's a real picture. I took it myself. I think I got two pictures of this. Yeah, see, there's another picture of it. See, it's an actual Photoshop, in the Photoshop picture that I took. And in this place, I used to, right before I used to go to work, I used to sit across the street from it. There's nothing interesting about it. There's nothing special. Still, there's nothing special when I look at it now. There's nothing special about it. And I never understood what compelled me to take the picture of it, because there's nothing. Again, there was plenty of beautiful houses on this block, especially down to the right, that I could have taken a picture of, and I didn't even take a picture of that. But for some reason, something kept nagging me to take a picture of this house. So again, I used to sit across the street. This is Park Slope. I used to sit across the street before morning time, before I went to work. I'd be smoking right under a tree, which is right across the park, across the street from this house. And again, for a few days, while sitting there looking at the house, or not really looking directly at this house, but just I had to go down the street to from where I was sitting to go to work, and this house would almost pass the way, kind of, so it wasn't directly in front of me, but it was essentially across the street. And anyway, something just kept nagging me to take a picture, and finally I did. You see that? Yeah, you probably can't see it, but it's building number 53. Anyway, that's not the point. But you see the lines? See the lines sitting there? See the steps? See even this light spot? See it going up the steps? Yeah. See the archway? See the columns here? And even see these rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these 6 rows right here. See that? This is in Park Slope, right? That's where this movie took place, right here in Brooklyn. It's the same house. The lines are sitting there. See it? Here, let me make it bigger, actually. Hold on a second. Damn, that ain't good. No, that's not what I meant to do. Wait a minute. Yeah, man, this thing's playing with me now. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. All right, so see this house? See the ridges? It's the same house. It was filmed right here in Brooklyn. This movie, The Winter's Tale. Anyway, this is the same house. You see the light spot going between the steps? It's the same, still there. They obviously took out the gate that was in between, but see the archway and see the pillars. Same. There's a tree here now, but there's another archway and see the other pillars. And it has these rows under here. Anyway, it's the same house. I don't have to really prove it. Just go watch the movie if you really want to see something interesting. Again, this movie is also about stones. Also, that's another interesting thing. I think that was one of the reasons why this movie rung a bell to her, because it clearly talked about, or it made it seem as if the movie was saying that Satan is here on earth, which ironically Will Smith plays. And yeah, he plays it. That's what's crazy about it. He plays Satan. And in order for Russell Crowe to kill anybody, he has to go to Satan, ask permission to kill someone or do whatever they want to do. And yo, it's deep. You should see it. It's not what you think it's about, but it's not the greatest movie, but it's not an awful movie. But again, if you know, if you understand that occult mysticism stuff more or less, and that kind of degree, that's just look at it that way. Don't look at it as the story itself, but they're showing you a lot of truth in the movie. But it's not by chance that I was sitting across the street from it, and I took a picture of the house at least 3-4 weeks, maybe 5 weeks before I saw that movie, A Winter's Tale. And here it is. I was sitting right across the street from the house where my ex-girlfriend showed me a movie about the theory about the possibility, or the movie, not the theory, what the movie's depicting is that Satan is here on earth with us. And ironically, Will Smith, who lives actually like literally on to the right, he lives like 10 blocks down. Well, he has a place over there. Anyway, yeah, that's not by chance. And this would have done something interesting, because see, the thing about my ex is that she was one of Brother Polite's students, so she understood that maritime law thing, or she would have understood that maritime law thing more than likely, which I didn't know about. Well, I knew about it before years ago, but I didn't know that it applied to this, to contracts, agencies, and all that stuff. I didn't know it, and here I am. When it resonated in me that when Yah's Magnified was saying what he was saying, it was making sense, because I came across it years and years before. And she may have stopped me from signing that, not to blame it on her, just saying that, could you imagine? Well, I could imagine that chances are, if she was still in the picture, I'm sure I would have told her about it, and she would have seen it, and she would have said no. Maybe I imagine that it would have rung a bell. I'd like to think. But again, I did it all by myself. I jumped in that boat by myself, thinking that I'm signing a DNA test thing. Anyway, that's another story. But the point is, yeah, I'm knee deep in child support, and I'm definitely gonna send my ass to jail. Anyway, yeah, we had a connection, and this was a part of it. This is again how it works. You hear this guy, Benjamin Vaughn? Yeah, Benjamin Vaughn of Midnight, Akabeka, died at a very auspicious time, at a very interesting time, especially according to his numbers. Man, that's really deep. When you get into the gematria of it, it's mind blowing. Actually, you got to wonder if everyone really did sell their souls. Period. I don't know what's going on. Maybe everyone did. I'm one of the last ones who haven't sold their souls yet or something. Or maybe I did sell my soul. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on here. I just know what I'm seeing happening, and this is a part of it. This happened years ago, and unfortunately, I never got to share it with the person I should have shared it with. It's sad the way it's going. You can't have two suns in the sky, and you can't have two moons in the sky, and you can't have constant cold, and some things are going to die and some things are going to live. But you can't have that constant. There's duality here. You need man and woman. That's the true balance. The sun and the moon. You can't have two moons, man. I'm telling you, you can't have two skies. You can't. I mean, two suns. It's too much. It's just too much. You got to have the balance to see it all. And me and her, we start seeing it. And it's too bad we didn't climb on that ladder, man. We could have been, I'd like to think, then again, maybe not, because, it's easy to say that. But, when people have the knowledge the way we have the knowledge, to some degree, we got to put it to work and use it and just not know it just for debate. We got to use it. And some of us aren't really using it. I do my best to use it. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not. I'm a hypocrite sometimes. But I do my best to use the knowledge as much as I can. And I can't describe how. And I'm sure if I did, everyone would definitely be judgmental. But the point is, these things happen. And this happened between a man and a woman. And it's too bad that we're not connecting anymore, because we could probably be helping each other big time. But especially what I've learned now, it's deep, man. It's just people don't want this, man. They truly want things that glitter and flash and look good on them, so that they know that other people see them. It's sad, man. That's what we're going through, man. That's a real big strain, especially since this social. Anyway, you know what? Let me stop. I am not here to preach. The point is, I took this picture at least a month before I saw the movie, and the movie takes place in this house, and the movie's set in the early 1900s. You should see it. They took a piece of what I've read from the 1880 books and they put it in a movie. And ironically, this movie has to do with stones also. And don't think stones are real. See that? Stones are real. They affect you. They positively and negatively. They affect you. They know that selling diamonds and putting diamonds on people is going to disturb them, especially as ignorant as they are. They know diamonds are a powerful frequency, and they don't care. Not everybody's supposed to be wearing a diamond, and not everybody's supposed to be wearing sapphire. It actually can do you harm, and you don't realize it. But that's another story. I'm not gonna get into that. Believe that if you want. Don't believe it. It's real. I experienced it, and I still experience it. Yeah, this was the connection, and it's lost. But it's not about that. This is about getting the message through that this is what happens when you connect and you get powerful with it. But of course, a lot of people take it negatively, and it just drives them to do stupid things, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, we all do stupid shit, man, but I don't know, that's a part of learning here. It's a part of it, man. I don't know why. No, I know why. I'm not saying that. Anyway, yeah. Just again, this message is it's real. It's not fake. It's as real as it can get. It may sound mediocre, but that's how I live my life as much as I can. It happens a lot, and it happens a lot for all of us. I've seen it with many people, both awake and not awake. And man, if only you'd realize the potential. That's why I'm pointing that out, and that's just part of that message. And hope it got through. But again, that's real. I took that picture long before I saw the movie. Well, not long, but I took it at least a month before I saw that movie. And it's not by chance that I had a theory about us living in hell, and come to find a movie from Warner Brothers said, or they represent the same thing. They got that from Truth, Anyway, that's it. Give thanks, and I wish you all the best.